promote.
Listen, Miguel, you can spread love. But when Irv sees you, he not gonna spread no love. Irv wants blood.
He wants to hit you with a car.
Well, apparently, I'm gonna be hit by a car already. So
I know, and that's a terrible thing to say about a person.
Well, let's get right into it. Let's play the clip. Irv Gotti was talking about Lloyd, and he said some comments that. Well, let's listen to the clip.
Lloyd, I have no love for. You know what I'm saying? Because here's a person that I helped out. And the minute he left, I let you go. You wanted to leave, I let you go. And you're gonna say, oh, well, Gotti did this and Gotti did that. You went platinum with Gotti. He could walk right past me. He get hit by a car. I'd be like, oh, word? He got hit by a car? Yo, BJ, let's go get something to eat. Yeah, and then right after that, he did the records with 50 and Lloyd. Like, you was waiting these dudes off, huh? You couldn't wait to these dudes. No pause or none of that. You couldn't wait them off.
Man, he said you wanted to blow them.
Hey, you know what, though? I got to laugh at because it's funny, man. It's funny. And I don't really dwell on stuff like this. I mean, it's so much going on in life in the world that this is real minimal. But I know it's New York City. I know they listen and they want to hear something. I personally feel like, as someone who isn't from New York, who's from a totally different place, it just sounds to me like he's a lot bitter. He might be in a weird place in his life, his career, and he's just lashing out. He's had a lot happen to him in the past, few years or whatever, and maybe, he's taking it out on me because we did have a really, really, awesome relationship, which was bigger than music. I didn't grow up with a father. My father was killed when I was a kid. I didn't know a lot of successful people, coming from where I was from, and he's also a father, so. I learned a lot from him when I was much younger, and I'm very appreciative for that, and I want everybody to know that. But me working with the likes of 50 Cent or Lloyd Banks or whatever, I don't really think I gotta explain myself because I could do what the I want to do. I could work with who I want to work with. I just make music. That's what I'm here for. That's my message, and it's not really much deeper than that. I mean,
Murder Inc. definitely a legendary group. I grew up listening to Ja and all of them, but there was some tension that a lot of people didn't know about with Ashanti, Irv Gotti, Ja Rule, Lloyd Banks. And you heard Lloyd Banks. Let's hear Ashanti's part of the story. Then we're going to hear Irv Gotti. Check it out.
Ashanti, as far as Ashanti, she's making an album. It's coming out soon. She's.
How does your how does this affect business? How does
what, my show or what affects business?
How does because it's public, right? Is it Ashanti? No.
Oh,
it's not public.
Wow. Yeah, all right. It's not. No. You know what? listen. Let me say this. It was. If we're talking about the show that supposedly I said all of this, right?
Said what?
I never said nothing. It was asked. A question was posed to me on the show, like.
Ashanti gonna be on the show.
Ashanti ain't on the show. Ashanti ain't on the show. Ashanti made a collective decision when I was going through my trial that she felt this was hurting her. You know what I'm saying? And she felt Murder Inc. was hurting her or damaging her career. And she was growing and she moved on, which is all good. You understand? But if you don't see...
it caused some sort of, I guess, separation personally.
I mean, if someone comes to you, Ange, after you put them on, right? And someone comes to you and says, hey, this is no good anymore. I've grown. It's hurting me. I'm out. I want to be out. What are you gonna? And they try to in essence get off the label. What would you do? Like, I think I handled it pretty graciously. You know what I'm saying? And took it on the.
Are you disappointed?
Would you be?
I'm asking you.
I mean.
Yes.
Yes, of course. It's somebody who I've invested a lot of time, energy, effort, love, a lot of things.
Was he getting on your nerves though at any point in the night?
Yes.
Yeah. But that's normal probably.
You know, it was really bad though. It was really bad. And there's a lot of things that I think Irv went out and publicly said that he shouldn't have. And I feel like a lot of things he painted one-sided. He painted a perception that was his. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I felt like for a long time I was just quiet and I let it rock.
What do you think is the misconception? Like, what do you think was what people might have thought?
I think the biggest thing is Irv always says I'm disloyal, you know, and I didn't ride out and I didn't want to throw up the M's. You know what I'm saying?
During the trial?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like that was so one-sided because first of all, it wasn't true. You know, I was shooting John Tucker Must Die in Canada, and it specifically said in my contract, you cannot leave. You cannot leave Canada. I flew back and forth like 4 or 5 times just to go to the trial. You know what I'm saying? And we weren't even talking at all.
At that point?
Yeah, at all.
Why were you not talking at that point?
We were beefing over the album, The Collectibles, I believe. There was just stuff going on that I didn't like.
Business-wise.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. So for him to say, oh, she didn't ride out, I felt like, what are you talking about? I rolled till the wheels fell off, the car was on fire, the windshield was out, the muffler fell off. Like, what are you talking about? You know? And I just felt like it was very one-sided. You know? Oh, you don't want to throw up the M's. What do you mean? When you're telling me, Ashanti, you can't come and record at the studio right now. What am I supposed to do? You know what he told me? Go over to Dirty Entertainment. Go to Dirty ENT. So what am I supposed to do?
Was he jealous?
I mean, I think...
Because that sounds like a jealous comment.
It does.
That sounds like salty. That sounds salty.
I mean, I think Irv's very emotional. You know what I mean? He's a Cancer. And I feel like he didn't always put business as a priority. That's what I feel. And again, like, he just painted the perception very one-sided. And I just feel like now is when I got to be brave enough to...
So Gotti has said, after hearing that you wanted to leave his label, that you just weren't a good artist.
Right.
That you just didn't make good music. What's your response to what Irv Gotti said?
I just think he's kind of out of touch, you know? And it's easy for Irv to run behind lawyers and legalities and contracts to hide his flaws. But I really think that, you know, to be someone who doesn't even make the music, you know, it's kind of hard to criticize the ones that do. You know, my blessing is that God has given me a gift, not Irv. And with that said, I can go and record new music tonight. And it may change your perspective on what he said about me. But I feel like there's nothing that he can really do to change what I'm saying about him. Ever since I arrived, I have been totally dedicated to making good music, something worth hearing, something worth playing. And I never got that same response from him, you know? It never was that kind of dedication, I felt.
Did you contact him after you heard about that?
No, I haven't spoken with Irv in over a year.
Even while you were signed to the label, you weren't?
Yeah, even while I was signed. On my last record, Lessons in Love, there was a song that Irv produced called Day in the Life. I felt that it didn't fit the album, it didn't fit the mold, it didn't fit the direction, and I just really didn't like it. So, you know, instead of just trying to diss him or hurt his feelings, I decided to use it as a bonus on my album. He took that as a diss. You know, he was really sensitive about it. And, you know, at that point, I felt like that kind of behavior wasn't necessary because we're all ultimately working towards the same goal.